Welcome to the Story-Eyed Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Jen. On this show, we talk about all things Williams syndrome. We're excited to share our community with you. Thanks for being here.
So anyway, hi guys, how are you doing?
Doing all right. Tonight's the final golf practice for this season for Special Olympics. So
Awesome.
Yep, the tournament is this upcoming Sunday. So
Now, what does a tournament look like? How much do you play?
Well, there's the skills competition and then the alternate shot competition.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm doing the skills competition again because last time I played the alternate shot competition, people in our group cheated like really badly. And we lost Jen.
We lost Jen.
Hello, there I am. Whoa, that was weird.
Jen Keaton hates golf. This just in.
It was weird. I was just like, everything just like shut down in my house. Psh.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, that was one of those.
Spooky.
Okay.
The spirits in Colorado hate golf.
Yeah.
I like golf. It's a lovely sport.
But the skills competition, you get 6 shots per like 6 different places. So you putt, you hit like a pitching wedge, an iron, 7 or 8 iron, and then a driver. So 6 shots each station is what I'm trying to say. And the first shot is like a practice shot, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hit your 6 shots, and then you move on with your heat because it all depends on what heat you're in. So.
Is it accuracy or distance or
distance, accuracy? It's based on a point system.
Okay.
Yeah. So
kind of like one of those games that you play at Top Golf if you've ever gone to Top Golf.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Cool.
Yeah, and so it's just all day, and then the heats go out, and then there's the ceremonies where you get your medals and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
You stand up on the top of the podium and you're like, "That's right, people.
Yep.
Bow down to Brendan Lemieux," and you get all
kneel to me, peasants.
Peasants.
No, not really.
I'll give you $1 if you do that this year. Yeah. How are you, Keaton?
I'm fine. Nothing going on. I'm just in the middle of
How's the start of school for the girls?
Going fine. We have a lot of activities, so there's so many that I have a spreadsheet.
Nice.
Where I'm trying to keep track of my life. Yeah.
No,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm going to put this out in the world. They're not a sponsor, but if they want to be, they can. There's this company that makes like this digital.
Oh, yeah, Skylight.
Yeah, and then you just put that up like in your kitchen or wherever the common area, and then you could just touch and go. I'm just saying, if they want to sponsor us.
That would be.
Do you have one?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. But you know what? My life would be so much better if I had one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Sponsors.
Right. Yeah, we have a lot going on. We have multiple sports, but we did have a very sad thing happen last week.
I know.
One of our guinea pigs died.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
No.
Oh,
very sad.
I bet.
I am sad.
You are sad. A life has been lost.
A life has been lost. Yes. I'm sad.
Whether that makes things easier or less complicated or
right.
Life well lived.
Or there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
it is sad.
Thankfully, it was not there's one guinea pig that is very beloved. It was not that one. It was the housemate. So
it was the spare.
It was. So yeah, it's been a very busy week in my house.
Wow.
So I was really glad when you said, "Hey, I have all this cruise footage and we need to put it out," because the people are asking.
Yeah,
people have really been asking.
I'm glad we were able. So this is not all of the cruise footage.
Right. Oh, okay.
Today, because I have a lot of it. So we'll be able to revisit some of this,
Later.
over the next few months and stuff, because all three of us have some very busy times coming up here. So
Yeah.
these cruise interviews will be great to sort of have interspersed, because frankly, even though the interviews took place on the cruise, we don't really talk about the cruise. We talk about other stuff. Today we have Jennifer Scheuerell and Liv and Kaya Scheuerell. They have an unbelievable story. In fact, I got to pull this up here because
Are these the twins?
yeah, no, they're not twins.
They're not twins.
They're not twins. Liv and Maya are not twins, but they both have Williams syndrome. They were born a couple years apart. And of course, as parents, we are told when you have one kid with Williams syndrome, it's like, oh, the odds of your kid are, it has no bearing on your next child. And in fact, Jennifer's doctors even went further with what they told her. The odds of having two kids without any other circumstances that might contribute. So this is where, purely by chance, twice, the odds of having two kids with Williams syndrome is 1 in 56 million to 1 in 100 million. There are other things that a person can carry on their number 7 chromosome that could increase the odds a bit, but we're still talking about 1 in a million chance.
Millions.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but the fact that they have two kids that were born and with Williams syndrome, but both kids doing great and thriving. So that's the first interview. We interviewed Jennifer, and then I was able to interview Liv, and then Maya joined the interview about halfway through. So I cut all of those together into one interview. I hope people enjoy that. And then the second part is Jeff Isensee, who, good guy, just super excited to share a little bit about his life. He works a lot, and he's out there living pretty independently, and just a good guy. And it was great to just
Good old Jeffy Poo, as we affectionately call him. Good old Jeffy Poo.
Jeffy Poo. Oh,
Jeffy Poo.
we love
Yeah. Yeah, we love Jeff in the community. He's such a good dude and one of my dear friends. So
yeah. Jeff's a good guy, and so I was thrilled to be able to share our interview, my interview with him.
Okay, did it make you miss being on the cruise?
No, weird. No, what actually it never occurred to me. Then it never occurred to me. I just was kind of going through it. It made me miss some of those conversations I had with friends. I mean, Jennifer's story is just so wild, so unbelievable that it's just, it's like many others. They're twins, but no, they're a few years apart. Yeah, so it's just it's a wild one, and
Can't wait.
Yeah. But thank you to everyone for watching the Robin Peg interview. It's one of our highest viewed podcasts that we've done yet. So I hope that people are getting some good, valuable information off of that. I know I did.
We're coming up on 13,000 to 15,000 views and streams. So that's amazing.
Yeah, 15,000 just on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
13,000 downloads of the audio version. And Facebook has once again changed their analytics. So I'm not entirely sure, but Facebook actually is the more popular place to view our podcasts. So those numbers are really, really high too. I just don't have exact numbers on those. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. This means
for listening, for watching, for sharing. Please continue to share, spread the word.
For supporting all the good stuff.
And
that's amazing.
And hope you enjoy this show live on tape from the Norwegian Aqua somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean.
All right.
Hi, I'm Morgan Jane Starkman from Inner Sense Organic Beauty, and I'm so excited to share something that I love, our Hair Renew Scalp Hair Bath and Soothing Conditioner. Soothes my hair and soothes my scalp irritation. These products leave my scalp feeling truly calm, and they make me feel confident and cared for, and I think you'll love them too. Let's take care of our scalp and hair together. Try them today and save 15% on your first purchase with my code Morgan15 at InnerSenseBeauty.com.
Yeah, my name is Jennifer Scheuerell, and I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I am mom to 2 girls who both have Williams syndrome.
Hi, I'm Liv Scheuerell, and I am 20 and I go to university.
She was diagnosed with Williams syndrome when she was 10 months old. My younger daughter, Kaya, is 18, and she was diagnosed with Williams syndrome at 7 weeks.
For people who don't know me, I'm Kaya Scheuerell. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I am 18 years old.
Tell us a little bit about the diagnosis story.
When Liv was born, she was born late, small. I reckon now is common to Williams. You know, we didn't have any immediate indications that it's for her. And so by the time that she got to be about a month old, the really big concern for her was her feeding. It's really having a hard time getting her to grow like other kids seem to do so effortless. And so, you know, we were seeing our pediatrician really regularly, checking in on her growth and how it's going. She also, you know, she's kind of the classic Williams, really uncomfortable a lot. Just didn't know what to do to relieve that for her. Lots of sleepless nights. And the pediatrician we were working with just wasn't really getting us anywhere. We just were kind of on a hamster wheel of going to appointments and not getting really much advice, things to change or try. And we had met another pediatrician friends who happened to be at the same clinic, and so we decided to ask for a second opinion and have a meeting with him. And that was really kind of the beginning of the breakthrough for us. So Liv was maybe about 8 months old at that point. It had been a really, really challenging time for us. And as new parents, you know, my husband and I didn't know if we were just really bad at being parents because everybody else made it look so much easier, or if there was really something different going on. And once we started working with our pediatrician, who is still now here 20 years later, working with us, he started doing rounds of testing to figure out what was underlying the issues we were having. He had noticed that Liv's skin is a little bit loose compared to most babies, and that gave him the idea to test her for Williams syndrome.
Interesting.
Which was not something he had ever seen himself, but he had learned of it. He was aware of it, and we hit it. That was her diagnosis.
Wow.
He explained that Liv had Williams syndrome, which my husband and we'd never heard of before, and what that meant, and kind of gave us our sheet of all the different specialists we'd be going to see to start getting her out. And so he really did an amazing job of getting us on the right track.
And when I was younger, I didn't know that Kaya would pop up into the world. I thought, is it just going to be me or something magical going to happen? And bang, magic happened. There she is.
And Kaya, and what's super cool and what's so unique about your family is both you and Kaya, both of you have Williams syndrome.
We are the only siblings in our family who have it. Our cousins don't have it.
One of the things that we had in our meeting with our geneticist was they just kept going on and on and on about how your next child is, there's no increase in odds that your next child is going to have it. Oh, your next child. Did you get any of that from the genetics counselor or the geneticist?
They actually spoke even stronger than that. Like, they told us, they were like, we can't tell you who this next baby will be. Mm-hmm. You could have a baby with Down syndrome or autism or so many other things we wouldn't even think to name. Mm-hmm. But we can promise you your second baby will not have Williams syndrome.
Wow.
Runs, it just doesn't happen.
So cut to a couple years later.
Yeah. So that, there are some funny coincidences. Like, so my girls are 2 years apart. They had the same due date, 2 years apart. They were both late, and their birthdays ended up being 5 days apart. Just a funny, strange coincidences. So when our second daughter was born, her name's Kaya. She looked like a carbon copy of her sister. It was just stunning to see her face. But we were so certain that this baby, the second baby, did not have Williams syndrome. But I remember being like, well, that just goes to show how much Liv's face is just Liv's face. And it's not a Williams syndrome thing. Fast forward not very many weeks, so that we were going in, Kaya was about 6 weeks old, and we went to the pediatrician. And it was, again, because Liv had just turned 2, so we took them both to the appointment, and Liv was having her regular annual panels done for hypercalcemia and all those other checks. And then Kaya was having kind of the baby panels that they do to look for the metabolic disorders and different things that they want to test for in the really, really little guys. And I remember very well our pediatrician saying, well, now that, Kaya's here, would you like to have her tested to see tested for Williams syndrome so that you can have the peace of mind that she doesn't have it? And we looked at each other and thought, okay, I guess we're doing blood draws anyway. Yes, let's go ahead and do the fish test on her, so that we can just have that clearly off the table, right? I didn't think too much about it. You worry about all the tests. Just like, will something come back? And all the metabolic came back fine. And our pediatrician called us. I remember it was dinner time, and I had Kaya in my arms, and I could hear just my husband's side of the phone call with the pediatrician. And I knew there's only one conversation they could have been having. And I know the pediatrician is telling Kaya has Williams. I just remember looking at her face and tears falling, thinking, they screwed up the blood sample. They took blood from both girls in the same room. They retested Liv, and they screwed it up because there's no way it just wouldn't sink in. And that was, so we had a very strange evening and went to bed, and it turned out the next morning was Liv's cardiology check-in. And at that point, she had not yet been diagnosed with supravalvular aortic stenosis. Most of our kids have. But we were going for annual checks to test. And so 7 o'clock the next morning, we were at the Children's Hospital for Liv to see the cardiologist and have her test. I remember looking at the nurse who we'd been working with, still in just shock, and saying, well, I guess I have to make an appointment with you to come back with the baby, because the pediatrician called last night and said she has Williams syndrome too. And she just paused for a moment. She barely skipped a beat. She said, go get stickers, which is, that means that. So I just walked out and got stickers for the baby and came back, and they tested both. They did the full part of the, an echo and the EKG and the regular visit on both of them. And that morning they were both diagnosed with supravalvular aortic stenosis. So we got Kaya's Williams diagnosis and both of their heart diagnosis in 24 hours. And at that point, there was no way to think that they were wrong about the Williams test or that the blood samples had been mixed up. And the reality began to hit us that we had somehow had the 1 in 10,000, the same 1 in 10,000 thing hit us twice. And I had a moment where it was just kind of like, everything's clicked into place for me, and I recognized that Liv was, my kids were the first people with disabilities I had ever known. And just realizing how broken the world, and the next thing was, where were all the people with disabilities when I was? How can I be at that point 30 years old and have never known anyone with a disability, and now only knowing them because I birthed them? And just kind of that recognizing what that meant socially and what that would mean in the future of our lives. As far as, things have certainly changed some, that just how much families of people with disabilities are isolated from general society.
What do you love about being a big sister to Kaya?
I really like taking care of her when she's angry, sick, and then whenever she feels sad, I feel guilty because I know that she's upset. And I feel her emotions, so we share each other's emotions.
I love that.
I love it too.
Best thing about being a big sister to Liv is
Little, you mean?
little is when we hang out, we go shopping, we do fun things. We like to go to arcades and like try new things.
They've always been very close. I remember in elementary school, their teachers would tell me that whenever they were in the hallways and they would see each other, they would always run to each other and hug. I think just warmed everyone's hearts. But they are very close. They certainly annoy each other in the same way other sisters do. But it's usually really fleeting. Like they might be annoyed with each other for an hour or something, and then it passes. So for the most part, they're very close, and they have a lot of the same friends. When they weren't going to the same school, they were both a little upset about it, not getting to see each other, even those kind of moments in the day where you pass in the hallway. And so then once they got to high school, they were back in school together. Liv just finished her first year at the Washington State University participating in the ROAR program, which has just been phenomenal. They're so impressed. And so Washington State, we live in Seattle. Washington State University is in Pullman, which is a 5-hour drive east of us.
Okay.
Very small town. My kids have lived in Seattle their whole lives. They're city kids. So this is Liv's first time living anywhere but the city. Pullman has about 35,000 people, and that's about half of the population is seniors. It's a lovely town in the middle of a lot of wheat field, a very rural area. Half of the programming is kind of tailored to the ROAR students, and they do independent living and job skills and digital literacy. And then half of their time they get to take classes out of the full university course catalog and learn about what alongside their typical peers and whatever classes interest them. But be enrolled in those classes as an audit student.
Okay.
So they're not required to keep up with the homeworks and the testing schedules and exams and all the rest of that.
So this was your first year of college. How did your freshman year of college go? How did you feel? Did you enjoy it?
Did, but I got bullied again, and I'm tired of being bullied, and
Okay.
I hope that person that I'm not getting along with knows it. I don't really care about what she has to say, so I tossed her out of my head.
Kaya has 1 year of high school left.
Okay.
So she's still at home. She has, in the fall, she's a rising senior, she would tell you. She'd be upset if I didn't stay. And so her last year of high school, and she is very interested in going into the ROAR program as well.
And you're going into your senior year of high school.
I am.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I am excited because by June of 2026 I graduate.
And in May, I graduate, so I'll be passing down the tradition.
Do you think you'd like to go to college too, kind of like what your sister's doing?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I have been telling her more about the program, and she likes it, so
That's really cool.
she wants to do the same program, so hopefully there'll be a legacy there.
I like to do fun activities during the summertime, and Williams syndrome and supravalvular aortic stenosis is important to know.
What it's like being a person with Williams syndrome is that we are normal in so many ways,
Yeah.
but we have a disability that is hard for me to understand, but I love it. She's very energetic and very athletic.
I am.
Wow, that's awesome.
Go to williamsyndrome.org to learn about our disability. Please and thank you.
And you can also donate to other organizations who are involved with our disability and also our heart condition. So you can find more at www.williamsyndrome.org.
One of the things that I see is just how often these people with Williams syndrome are underestimated, and people don't really take the time to see the kind of beautiful spirits and the wonderful personalities. It's just like, oh, you're not going to pass this test at the same age as your peers. Okay, well, that's going to make our lives harder as teachers, and you're going to need to fit these boxes, and we're going to, it's just the school system is really hard, the public school system. It's disappointing, I think. I do still feel Seattle's a really educated city, and we take a lot of pride in that. And I worked at the University of Washington for 10 years. That was where my husband and I met. He's a professor there now. And to see how badly our Seattle school system does with special education and how desperately they cling to these outdated models of segregation that we know don't benefit anyone is really disheartening. Like, it's just, I think a lot of parents could relate to this feeling of, fighting the school district is like running up a sandy hill, and so much work and you never get anywhere. And I don't mean that to, we've had so many teachers who have just been wonderful and opposite of everything I say, and have, opened doors and paths for us that we're super grateful for. But the kind of the district and the infrastructure of the school system, they want to do things the same way they were doing things when I was born. And the research shows and has shown for 40 years longer, right? Inclusion. And doing it right, and they just refuse to try, and that part has been really difficult. So I am certainly looking forward to life after public school system. Sure. I've learned to see the world in some ways in the same way that my kids do. I remember sitting with Liv, and she was little, and she was just learning to talk, but she had quite a few words, right? And we were having lunch. It was just the two of us, and it was pretty quiet. And she looks at me and she says, dog. And I was like, my child is a random word generator. We don't have a dog. And then I just noticed that I could very faintly hear a dog barking. It would never have registered to me if she hadn't said it. And I was like, it's not a random word generator. She has very sensitive hearing, and she's listening to things that my ears filter out. And over time, just spending time with them, I've learned to hear things that they hear and to kind of see things in these whole new ways. It's just honestly, it's a more beautiful world looking at it through the things I've learned from them than it was before.
I'm Kaya.
I'm Liv.
Thanks for the podcast and enjoy your day, y'all.
Hi, I'm Morgan Jane Starkman. I am the daughter of Greg and Joanne Starkman from Inner Sense Organic Beauty, and I'm so happy to tell you something really special. The Hair Renew Scalp Hair Bath and the Hair Renew Soothing Conditioner from Inner Sense Organic Beauty. These clean, safe products help take care of your scalp and hair. They make your scalp feel calm and renewed. I love how they make me feel cared for, and I think you'll love these products too. Let's take care of our scalp and hair together. Try them today and save 15% on your first purchase with my code Morgan15 at InnerSenseBeauty.com.
Hello out there on the Starry Eyed Podcast. My name is Jeff Isensee. I am 33 years old. I live in Washington State, and I am a courtesy clerk at a store called Safeway, which is a grocery store.
And how long have you had that job?
5 years.
So when you think back to when you first started the job, was it kind of a hard job to learn?
It was at first, and then I got more comfortable and things progressed, and it's just been really fun.
How many days a week do you work?
I work 4 days, 16 hours. I get Tuesdays and weekends off.
That's awesome. That's a good schedule.
I have a few customers that only come by because I'm there. They like to just come see me and say, hey.
How are you enjoying the cruise? How's things going?
This is my very first cruise, and I have to admit, this has been the most wonderful thing that I've ever done in a really long time, and I'm starting to get emotional knowing that in 48 hours we're departing the ship and going home.
Yep.
And I've had such a blast.
What's been the best part?
Seeing my WS family that I only see every so often.
Yeah.
And the staff on the ship has been awesome. And I've reconnected with friends and made new friends. And I just couldn't be more happier to be on the ship. So the day that we were supposed to arrive, that got delayed and everything got canceled. I got to go with a WS family for the day and just hang out with them. We went up to the top, we did some shopping, came back, had a nice dinner with them.
You took the big gondola up to the top. This was in St. Thomas?
In St. Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Give us one thing that can be hard about being a young man with Williams syndrome.
There's been a lot of hard things. Not one specific, but one thing is people misinterpret what we say and what we mean.
Mm-hmm.
And they misinterpret our actions. But just in general, like people who don't know us, who don't want to know us, think that we're complete strangers or aliens to
Right.
them. And that's one of the hardest things. Because, like, we're friendly folk. We love talking to people.
Yeah. What's something that is awesome about being a young man with Williams syndrome?
I've gotten to do things in my life that not a lot of other people without Williams syndrome have gotten to do.
Yeah.
I've gone to Camp Blue Skies. I've gotten to go to all sorts of conventions. I have gotten to participate in studies and get compensated. Just a bunch of things.
Do you live at home with your folks still, or do you have a place of your own?
I live with my parents part-time, and I live in an apartment part-time. Yeah, and I have a roommate, too. She's a 75-year-old lady.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. So she and I talk in the evening. We play games. We talk, do all sorts of things. Her name is Nancy.
Nancy and Jeff hanging out, chatting into the evening. I love that. Well, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Starry-Eyed Podcast, presented by the Williams Syndrome Association and sponsored by Inner Sense Organic Beauty. The show is hosted by Jennifer Keaton and Brendan Lemieux and produced by me, Joel Listman. All music by Tommy Barbarella and Mariella Elm. Got a question for the show? Email us at podcast@williams-syndrome.org. Video version of the podcast available on the Williams Syndrome Association channel on YouTube and on the Starry-Eyed Podcast page on Facebook. Audio version available wherever you get your podcast delights. So like and subscribe and help spread some Williams syndrome awareness.